we were talking about some fundamental properties of magnetism. Like we talked about the origin of magnetism, which is due to the orbital motion of the electron as well as due to the spin motion of the electron.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है? हेलो? Yes, students. Am I on?
ma'am.
आ रही है? Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue. So we were talking about the origin of magnetism. What is the origin of magnetism? It is due to the orbital motion of the electron, and secondly due to the spin motion of the electron. Then we talked about the total magnetic moment of the atomic system, which is due to both of these parameters, the orbital motion as well as the spin motion. About some basic parameters like magnetic intensity, and then magnetic susceptibility, magnetic permeability. So we talked about all those things in the last lecture. Today we are going to talk about classification of magnetic materials. Classification of magnetic materials. Okay, so depending upon whether the substance has permanent dipoles and how these dipoles are oriented with respect to the applied magnetic field, the materials are characterized into 5 categories. First one is diamagnetic. Second is paramagnetic. Third one is ferromagnetic. Fourth one is antiferromagnetic. And the last one is ferrimagnetic. So we will be discussing all these categories of magnetic materials one by one. Okay, the categorization is the classification of the magnetic materials is totally on the basis of whether they are having permanent dipole moments or not, whether how the dipoles are oriented with respect to the applied magnetic field. Okay, so we will be discussing all these classes one by one. So let us start with the first category, which is diamagnetic materials. Diamagnetic materials. Okay, so this is the class of materials, this is the class of magnetic materials which when kept inside the magnetic field they are weakly magnetized. Okay, so you can say that the substances which gets weakly magnetized by a strong magnetic field in a direction opposite to the direction of the applied magnetic field. Okay, so they are the substances which are weakly magnetized by strong magnetic field. By strong magnetic field. Okay, and the other basic characteristic is they are magnetized in a direction opposite to the
उनके मैग्नेटिक डाइपोल्स उनके अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में अलाइन हो जाते हैं.
Yes, we are going to discuss this. So they are magnetized in a direction opposite to the direction of applied magnetic field. In a direction opposite to the direction of the applied magnetic field. Okay, examples are, for example, inert gases, inert gases like helium, argon, etc. Then metals are also diamagnetic. Metals like copper, zinc, bismuth, gold, antimony, they are all diamagnetic in nature. Even water is also diamagnetic in nature, H2O. Glasses and many organic compounds, they are also diamagnetic in nature. Okay, so the diamagnetism, the origin of the diamagnetism is orbital motion of the electrons in the atoms of the diamagnetic materials, right? I told you that the atoms are, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a particular orbit, right? So this orbital motion of the electron, this because this is a charged particle, and the revolution of the charged particle in a loop means a current loop, right? And when charge circulates in a loop, then it generates magnetic field. So this is the origin of the diamagnetic materials. This is the reason why the materials behave like diamagnetic materials. Okay, so the resultant, see, in an atom or in a material, there are n number of such orbitals. Okay, there are many such orbitals inside the material, right? So it means that each orbital is giving you a magnetic moment. Okay, and the resultant magnetic moment of all these orbitals will be like, if let's say m is the result, this is the vector sum of the magnetic moments of different orbits. Okay, so if this is the first orbit, if this is the second orbit, if this is the third one, fourth one, and so on, then the resultant magnetic moment of a diamagnetic material will be the vector sum of the magnetic moment possessed by these orbits individually. Okay, so m can be given by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus so on, where m1, m2, m3, they are the magnetic moment possessed by each orbital individually. Okay, now in absence of any magnetic field, if let's say B is 0, if the applied field is 0, if there is no external magnetic field, then the resultant magnetic moment will be equal to 0. Reason being, all the orbitals, they will be the magnetic moment possessed by individual orbitals will be randomly oriented. Like, so let's say the orbital moment m1 is in this direction, m2 will be in this direction. So what will happen, that the impact of m1 will cancel out m2, right? Similarly, let's say if m3 is in this direction, then m4 will be in this direction, right? So due to the random orientation of all these orbitals, due to the random orientation of the magnetic moment possessed by all these orbitals, the net magnetic moment possessed by the material as a whole will be equal to 0 in absence of any magnetic field, right? But what happens when magnetic field is applied? Let's say we are applying a magnetic field B to the diamagnetic material, then these dipoles, these randomly oriented dipoles, they will start orienting in a direction, they will start aligning in a direction which is opposite to the direction of the applied magnetic field. So if B is applied in this x direction, then the dipoles will be oriented in negative x direction. Okay, so this is the basic characteristics of the diamagnetic material. So as a result, due to the alignment of these dipoles in a particular direction, a net magnetic moment will be generated, let's say delta m, which is having a specific value, and this value will be negative. Okay, because the dipoles are, because this is like in a direction which is opposite to the direction of the applied field. Okay, so therefore this specimen, this diamagnetic specimen, will be repelled by the magnet. Okay, if it is kept inside the vicinity of a magnet, then it will be repelled by the magnet, right? So this is the origin of the diamagnetism. Then let us talk about some of the basic characteristics, some important characteristics of diamagnetic materials. Important characteristics of diamagnetic materials. Okay, so when a diamagnetic material is subjected to a strong uniform magnetic field, the magnetism induced is in a direction opposite to that of the external field. This is what we discussed now. So magnetism induced, let's say M is the magnetism induced, this will be in a direction opposite to the applied field B. Okay, so this is very first characteristic of diamagnetic material. Then in a non-uniform field, they have a tendency to move from stronger to weaker part of the field, right? If let's say we are applying B in this direction, and let's say this is the specimen, right? This is the object, this is a specimen of diamagnetic material. Then if B is stronger here, and if this is B1 is the magnetic field at this end and B2 is the magnetic field at this end, and this is a non-uniform magnetic field, and let's say if B1 is greater than B2, then the object will move from this to this direction. Okay, it will move from stronger part to weaker part of the field. Okay, so this is the second characteristic. The object will move from stronger magnetic field to weaker magnetic field.
The object itself start moving.
Yes, yes, if the field is non-uniform. Okay. Then third one is the diamagnetic substances are characterized by yes.
Why stronger to weaker, not weaker to stronger?
Yeah, because it is repelled, right? As I told you in the last slide, because this is the nature of the diamagnetic material, that it is repelled by the applied magnetic field. Reason being, the dipoles are oppositely oriented. Okay, so because it is repelled, so it will move from stronger part to weaker part. It will try to go outside of the impact of the magnetic field. Okay, so that's why, that is the reason it is moving from stronger field to weaker field. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so third one is the diamagnetic substances are characterized by negative susceptibility. It means the value of chi for diamagnetic substances is negative. Okay, because magnetic moment is negative, so it means chi will also be negative. Okay, because chi is directly linked to this one, delta M. Okay, so fourth one is diamagnetic susceptibility is independent of temperature. Means this psi dia is independent of temperature. Whether you increase the temperature or decrease the temperature, it will not affect the susceptibility at all. Independent of temperature. These are the four important characteristics of diamagnetic materials. कई बार आपको एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है 2 नंबर का या 3 नंबर का. What are diamagnetic materials? What is the origin of diamagnetism? What are the characteristics of diamagnetic materials? Okay. So this way you have to do. Okay, so next is very important article of this chapter, which is classical or Langevin. Yes, please.
What is the fourth point?
Yeah, fourth point is susceptibility of diamagnetic materials is independent of temperature. Is that okay?
But this is so. Why this is so?
Sorry? Hello?
Ma'am, the reason. Yeah, ma'am. The reason behind it is, ma'am, that I'm asking.
Yeah, The reason is because it is not impacting the movement of the dipoles at all, right? In diamagnetic materials, if you increase the temperature, if you raise the temperature of, or if you lower down the temperature, it is not impacting the movement of the dipoles at all. So dipoles will behave independently in the diamagnetic materials. They are not impacted by the temperature. So that is the main reason why the susceptibility is independent of the temperature.
It does impact the movement of electrons. Hence,
Yeah. Okay, so shall we move?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So next is very important article of this chapter, which is classical or Langevin theory of diamagnetism. This is very basic theory of to explain the origin of the diamagnetism, right? In this theory, we are going to find out what will happen when the magnetic field is applied to the diamagnetic materials, how their frequency of how their orbital frequency is going to change, and what is the change, what is the impact of the change in the orbital frequency on the magnetic moment of the diamagnetic materials. Okay, so this is how we are going to relate the things in this article. Classical or Langevin's theory of diamagnetism. Langevin theory of diamagnetism भी बोलते हैं इसको, classical theory of diamagnetism भी बोलते हैं. Okay, so this theory provides a satisfactory explanation for the diamagnetism exhibited by all the matter on the basis of the electron theory. Okay, so you know what is Bohr theory of atom, right? According to Bohr's theory of an atom, according to Bohr theory, atom is made up of central positive nucleus, and the number of electrons are revolving around the nucleus in discrete circular orbits, right? So this is like if let's say this is the nucleus, then the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in discrete orbits. Okay, so this is the situation. Now we know that a revolving electron is equivalent to an electric current loop, which produces a magnetic field perpendicular to the plane of the orbit and has a magnetic dipole moment, right? Because this is a loop, this is behaving like a loop, this orbit is behaving like a current loop. Reason being, electron is a charged particle, and when charge circulates, it behaves like a loop, current loop, right? So a magnetic field will be generated.
excuse me,
Yes,
and
yes.
a static electron produces only electric field around it.
A static electron
Produces
static,
only electric field around it. Okay.
Yeah.
When it starts moving, it produces magnetic field out of its own.
Yes,
Where does
yes.
that where does that magnetic field come from? Only just by the motion.
Yes, it comes from the motion, because you have studied it in electromagnetic theory, right? See, when a charged particle circulates in a orbit or circulates in a current loop, it generates magnetic field, right? So it is not a static particle. The electron is not a
So
static
I am
particle
asking,
over here.
how does it produce magnetic field out of its own only just by moving?
Just by, yeah, you
Moving.
might have studied, yeah, आपने आपने उसमें पढ़ा होगा इसके बारे में, कॉइल्स के बारे में. कॉइल्स में कैसे आप लोग जो है वो ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स में जब कॉइल्स यूज करते हैं, देन हाउ इट प्रोड्यूसेस लाइक मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. ठीक है, चार्ज जब आपका सर्कुलेट करता है, दिस इज द बेसिक थ्योरी ऑफ, इफ यू गो रिमाइंड
For example, like
yeah,
If an electron is not moving in a circular path, if it is moving in a straight line path,
Uh-huh.
it does produces magnetic field even then. So
Even then,
if it is not moving in a circular loop,
yeah,
it does produces magnetic field then.
no, then it will not produce. Na? It will produce the magnetic field when it is orbiting in a circle. Right?
Yep.
आप थोड़ा सा रिमाइंड
You mean
करोगे तो हाँ,
no, it produces a magnetic field only when it is moving in a circular path.
in a circular path, right?
And it does not produce when it is moving in a straight line path.
No. It will produce when it is circulating in an orbit.
What is the explanation for this?
See, you have to go to the chapter number. Just a minute. Okay, I will. One thing I will do. I will send you a material. Please go through that. You will came to know the entire theory or entire theoretical background of this thing, right? ठीक है, because
Okay.
अभी अगर मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करने के उसमें फिर पूरा
Thank you.
आर्टिकल रह जाएगा, है ना? तो आपको मैं ऐसा करूंगी. दिस इज विक्रांत, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, तो विक्रांत मैं आपको कुछ मटेरियल भेजूंगी. आप प्लीज गो थ्रू दैट मटेरियल, प्लीज गो थ्रू दैट डॉक्यूमेंट. यू विल फाइंड द एंटायर एक्सप्लेनेशन फॉर दिस, व्हाई द सर्कुलेटिंग चार्जेस प्रोड्यूसेस मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, राइट? Is that okay, Vikrant?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Please send it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let us continue because otherwise ये पूरा फिर रह जाएगा, आपका आधा रह जाएगा आर्टिकल.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so we were talking about the Langevin theory of diamagnetism. So I told you this is totally based upon the Bohr's theory of an atom, right? The nucleus is at the core of the atom, and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus, right? And I told you that each circulating charge is behaving like a current loop, and therefore magnetic field will be generated. Okay, so magnetic moment will be generated. So since an atom in general contains many such current rings, and the resultant magnetic moment is the vector sum of the magnetic moments of all such rings, right? Because there are n number of such rings, there are n number of such loops. So the total magnetic moment will be the vector sum of the magnetic moments produced by such current rings. Okay, so what Langevin says, according to Langevin theory, an atom of a diamagnetic substance is such that the vector sum of all the magnetic moments of the current loops is 0 in the absence of the magnetic field. If the magnetic field is not applied, then if B is equal to 0, then the magnetic moment M will be equal to 0. There will be no magnetic moment generated in the absence of the magnetic field. The reason being, all the dipoles, they are randomly oriented, and hence the impact of one will cancel out the impact of others. So therefore the total magnetic moment in such case will be equal to 0 in the absence of the applied magnetic field. Okay, so what happens when magnetic field is applied, when B has certain finite value, when a magnetic field is applied, these orbitals, they will be distorted from their current location, right? For example, let's say if this is a particular loop, okay, so when you apply magnetic field to this loop, then instead of following this path, the electron may follow this path. Okay, so because of this magnetic push, because of this magnetic external magnetic field, the orbital of the electron will change, right? Now because the path of the electron will change, it means that the velocity of the orbital will also change, राइट, बिकॉज उसका पूरा पाथ चेंज हो रहा है. अगर पाथ चेंज हो रहा है, देन सी अगर ये पाथ आपका बड़ा हो रहा है, इट हैज टू मूव विद ग्रेटर वेलोसिटी, द इलेक्ट्रॉन हैज टू मूव विद ग्रेटर वेलोसिटी. अगर इसका पाथ जो है वो कम हो रहा है, छोटा हो रहा है, देन इट हैज टू मूव विद lower velocity, right, in order to remain in the orbit. So it means that the velocity of electron will also change due to the applied magnetic field, right? So as a result, because with the velocity is changing, it means that the angular frequency will also change, right? If the velocity increases, then the angular frequency will also increase. If the velocity decreases, the angular frequency will also decrease. Okay, so it means that there is a change in omega. there is a change in the angular frequency of rotation. Okay, and due to this change in the angular frequency of electron, the magnetic moment will be generated, delta m will be generated. So what we have to do, we have to first we have to analyze the situation in the absence of the magnetic field, and then we have to analyze the situation in the presence of the magnetic field. Okay, first we have to see what would be the value of omega in absence of B, and then we have to see what is the value of angular frequency in the presence of B, right? And what is the change in the angular frequency, how much the angular frequency is changing due to the impact of the magnetic field. अगर आपने delta omega find out कर लिया, it means that you can find out the value of this change in the magnetic moment of the diamagnetic materials, right? So this is the basics of this theory. This is what on which the theory is based upon, right? Okay, so let us do it. We have to derive it mathematically. We have to find out the value of omega mathematically, and then change in the value of omega mathematically, and then finally we will talk about the magnetic moment. Magnetic moment find out करेंगे for a single atom. Then we will find out the magnetic moment for n number of atoms. If n number of atoms are there per unit volume, तो उसके लिए कितना होना चाहिए magnetic moment, we will find out that, and then finally we will find out the value of magnetic susceptibility. अगर आपको एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है तो इस तरह से आता है कि find out the susceptibility for diamagnetic materials, find out an expression using classical theory or using Langevin theory of diamagnetism, find out the expression for the susceptibility of diamagnetic materials. इस तरह से एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है आपको. Okay, so let's do this. So let us consider a single electron circulating in a diamagnetic atom with angular frequency omega naught. Okay, so we have a diamagnetic atom where the nucleus is there in the core and the electron is revolving around the nucleus, and let's say the angular frequency for the circulation of this electron is omega naught, and this angular frequency is in absence of the magnetic field. In absence of magnetic field. Okay. Let's say the radius of this orbit is r, and this radius is in absence of the magnetic field. This radius is in the absence of the magnetic field, because I told you when we will apply the magnetic field, this orbit will change, right? So it means that the radius will also change. Okay, so in the absence of the magnetic field, r is the radius. Now each electron is moving in a circular orbit with, let's say, the speed of this electron is v naught, right? So this electron is revolving around the nucleus under the action of the centripetal force. Okay, electrostatic force इसमें होगी. So the force will be Fe is equal to mv naught square divided by r, which is the centripetal force of the electron, and due to this force the electron continues to revolve around the nucleus. So this is equal to m omega naught square r. The reason being omega naught is equal to velocity, linear velocity into r, radius. Okay, तो हमने क्या किया, यहाँ पे r से हमने मल्टीप्लाई किया, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे हमने r से इसको डिवाइड भी किया. Just a minute. Yeah. Yes, Preeti, you're saying something.
omega is equal to v by r होता
Yes,
है
yes,
शायद.
this is V by R, sorry. So ओमेगा नॉट इज इक्वल टू वी अपॉन आर, सो हमने इसको आर से मल्टीप्लाई किया, डिवाइड भी किया, सो दिस इज आर स्क्वायर एंड देन वी नॉट स्क्वायर अपॉन आर स्क्वायर विल मेक इट ओमेगा नॉट स्क्वायर एंड देन so in this case when there is no magnetic field, when B is equal to 0, then resultant magnetic moment will also be equal to 0, right? Because as I told you, the dipoles are randomly oriented and therefore the net magnetic moment will be equal to 0. Okay. Now, what will happen when the magnetic field B is applied? When B is applied to the plane of the orbit, the additional magnetic force acts on the electron and it is given by Fm is equal to E V cross B according to Lorentz. This is the Lorentz force. Fm is equal to E into V cross B. Now because velocity of the electron, since Fm acts at right angle to the motion of the electron, since this force is perpendicular, so we can say that Fm is equal to EVB. Okay, because sine theta is 90 degrees, then it is 1. So it is EVB, right? Now due to this force, the angular velocity of the orbiting electron changes, right? If this is the force which is due to the applied external magnetic field, right? So when this magnetic field is applied, the angular velocity of the electron will change, right? So if the electron initially was moving with V naught, now under the impact of the magnetic field B, the velocity of the electron will change and let's say it will become V. So it means that the angular velocity will also change, okay? And let's say angular velocity changes from this to omega. Sorry, this is omega, okay? Omega naught to omega, okay? So when an external magnetic field B is applied at right angle to the plane of the orbit, it will induce EMF in the loop, right? And what is that induced EMF? What will be the induced EMF due to the applied magnetic field? Tell me. Let's say if phi is the magnetic flux. If phi is the magnetic flux, then what is induced EMF?
I.
Huh?
d phi by dt.
Yes, this is minus d phi by dt. Minus d phi by dt, right? Where phi is the magnetic flux, right? We also know that the induced EMF is also given by closed integral E dl, where L is the length of the conductor. So this is equal to, it means that this EMF induced is equal to minus d phi by dt. And because this is a circular orbit, so the path will be the circumference, which is 2 pi r, which is further equal to minus d phi by dt. It means E is equal to minus 1 upon 2 pi r d phi by dt. Okay. Also, from Newton's law, m dv upon dt is equal to mass into acceleration is equal to the force, which is EE, charge of the electron multiplied by electrical field. So this is equal to minus E upon 2 pi r d phi by dt. Putting the value of E from here. Yes. Yes.
उनका
Yes.
negative sign है.
Sorry, you're not audible, beta.
मैम जो ये न्यूटन्स लॉ से फोर्स लिया है हमने ई
हाँ हाँ,
ये नेगेटिव क्यों नहीं लिया?
ये
बिकॉज चार्ज ऑफ द
negative,
इलेक्ट्रॉन
yes, actually what happens, see, the negative charge is only for the electron, because we are taking electron as a electron is negatively charged. तो
नहीं
जब हम मैग्नीट्यूड की बात करते हैं ना, तो मैग्नीट्यूड में हम उसको इग्नोर कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको लेना है आप इसमें ले भी सकते हो, इट विल नॉट हैव एनी इम्पैक्ट, राइट, बिकॉज द नेगेटिव चार्ज इज only for the drifting of the electrons and for the electronic charge, because it is like electron is negatively charged, so that's why we are taking it. Otherwise magnitude wise it is always EE. If you want to take, you can take it, right?
ओके मैम
Yeah, just a minute. Okay, so yeah, this is like from Newton's law. So dv, it means that dv, the change in the velocity, is equal to minus e upon 2 pi m r, small m r, d phi. ठीक है, तो दिस इज लाइक dv, dt से dt आपका यहाँ पे कैंसिल हो जाएगा, सो m को इस तरफ ले आओगे, सो dv इज इक्वल टू माइनस e अपॉन 2 पाई mr d phi. Okay, so this is the change in the velocity. This is the change in the velocity. By using change in the velocity, we can always find out the change in the angular velocity and then angular frequency. So this is d phi, sorry, dv is equal to minus e upon 2 pi mr d phi. Then now if the magnetic field changes from 0 to b, let's say, see, we are talking about a circular orbit, right? And if let's say the magnetic field is changing from 0 to b, then the lowest value of b will be 0 and the maximum value will be the maximum value of b, and the maximum value of b will be b multiplied by the area of this loop, pi r square. So it means that d phi will change from 0 to pi r square b. So therefore dv is equal to minus e upon 2 pi mr into d phi. D phi is pi r square b, right? And dv is equal to, if you simplify this, this will become dv is equal to, पाई से आपका पाई कैंसिल हो जाएगा, एक आर से एक आर कैंसिल हो जाएगा, सो दिस विल बी इक्वल टू माइनस ई आर डी divided by 2m. Okay, so this is the change in the velocity. ठीक है. Now using this change in the velocity, you can always find out the change in the angular frequency. If d omega is, let's say, the change in the angular frequency, then the change in the angular frequency will be given by dv by r, right? Change in the velocity divided by the radius. So it means that d omega is equal to minus e b divided by 2m. Okay, this is the change in the angular frequency. This frequency is called Larmor frequency. एक बार बहुत छोटा क्वेश्चन आता है एग्जाम में, व्हाट इज Larmor frequency? This is called Larmor frequency. D omega is equal to minus EB divided by M. So under the impact of the applied magnetic field, there is a change in the angular frequency of the electron, of the orbiting electron, and that change in the frequency of the orbits is called Larmor frequency, right? You can also give the expression in the answer, right? So now next one is like we have to find out that by using this change in the angular frequency, you can always find out the change in the magnetic moment of the diamagnetic materials, and by using that change in the diamagnetic materials, we can find out the total magnetic material of the material, and then by using total magnetic material, we can find out the susceptibility of the diamagnetic material. So this is how this article will proceed, but that we will do in the next lecture, because I think time is over for today. Okay, so yes, if there is any doubt, students, you can ask me, and Vikrant.
Yes, ma'am.
You the हो गया तो प्लीज पूछिएगा, ठीक है? Okay, so let me take your attendance now.